We expect our nightmares to come from monsters or malevolent spirits roaming the dark. But in these stories, innocent objects, boxes, vases, mirrors and paintings become the stuff of real-life horror. Today, we're plunging into 4 of the most terrifying haunted artifacts in history. Each has left a trail of shattered lives, unspeakable nightmares, and eerie misfortunes that defy all logic. Stay until our final chapter, because the last cursed item is so chilling that even gazing upon its photos online has caused people to claim nightmares and dread. If you find these stories thrilling, subscribe now so you won't miss next Saturday's episode, where we reveal the most bizarre, unsolved heists, cases so impossible they seem torn from movie scripts. Our first tale revolves around the Dybbuk Box, a small wooden wine cabinet said to contain a Dybbuk, a vengeful spirit from ancient Jewish folklore. The modern legend started when an antique store owner acquired it at a small estate sale. From the moment he took it home, the atmosphere in his house changed. Doors slammed themselves at 3 a.m. The lights flickered constantly, and the overwhelming stench of rotting flowers seeped through every room, refusing to be aired out. Night after night he dreamt of a ghastly old woman with hollow cheeks and soulless eyes looming at the foot of his bed. He'd awaken drenched in sweat to find fresh scratch marks on his arms that burned as though from a recent wound. Yet the cabinet remained locked. One day, ignoring warnings, he unlatched it, immediately feeling an ice-cold gust swirl around him, leaving the entire house in a tense electric silence. That same week, he gifted it to his mother in a misguided attempt to be rid of it. She suffered a catastrophic stroke within hours, later describing a shadowy crone that hissed her name in an otherwise empty room. Subsequent owners faced similarly horrifying experiences: illusions of a hunched figure skulking past mirrors, inexplicable cat urine odors, and furniture sliding across floors at night. One man woke to find every window in his home thrown open, while a bizarre chant echoed from unseen corners. Desperate, he tried burying the box, but neighbors claimed a pale silhouette roamed his yard, shrieking like a wounded animal until he dug it up again. The last caretaker placed the Dybbuk box in a sealed container, scrawling "Danger, do not open" across the exterior. He claims it still rattles occasionally, as if the spirit inside is thrashing around, hungry for another soul to torment. Next, we delve into the Bassano vase, a 15th century Italian relic rumoured to be cursed beyond measure. Crafted from pure silver, it was supposedly a wedding present for a young bride who died under bizarre circumstances on her wedding night, her face locked in terror, her nails clawing the bedpost. Family members whispered that she'd spoken of seeing a shadow emerge from the vase just hours before. Over centuries, the Bassano vase reappeared in different noble households. Each time, tragedy followed, family members falling ill with no cause, freak accidents, or macabre coincidences, like mysterious fires that destroyed only the room where the vase was displayed. One wealthy collector tried to show it off during lavish parties, only to have guests complain of feeling violent chills whenever they neared the display cabinet. Soon after, the collector's oldest son died in a bizarre riding accident, his horse spooked by an unseen force. The father, consumed by guilt, hurled the vase into a well, praying to end the curse. Decades later, a farmer found the vase while dredging the same well. Oblivious to its history, he sold it at auction. The buyer perished within 3 months, discovered clutching the vase, eyes frozen in utter dread. Local authorities in Italy, exasperated by repeated tragedies, allegedly locked the Bassano vase in a lead box, burying it in an undisclosed location or possibly bricking it behind an abbey wall. Some fear it may resurface again, drawn to fresh victims, for as the legends go, the vase does not rest until it claims another life. Nestled among Louisiana's moss-draped oaks is Myrtle's Plantation, reputedly one of America's most haunted homes. But no object within its walls is more feared than the massive antique mirror said to trap the souls of a mother and her 2 children, victims of a chilling poisoning centuries ago. Legend states they remain imprisoned behind the glass, doomed to drift in reflection, seeking release. Housekeepers repeatedly claim that when they polish the mirror, child-sized handprints materialize seconds later, as though pressed from the other side. At night, visitors hear faint tapping, like nails scraping glass, and upon investigating, see ghostly shapes drifting in the reflection. One terrified guest recounted glimpsing a woman's agonized face behind her own reflection, watery eyes fixated with sorrow, only for it to vanish the instant she turned. Paranormal teams who set up cameras report unexplained flickers of movement in the mirror, or entire chunks of audio capturing disembodied voices whispering a single plea: "Let us out." Some nights, staff and guests alike awaken to frantic sobbing echoing through hallways, localizing near the mirror, then abruptly stopping. The caretaker warns everyone to maintain their distance. The mother's fury is said to lash out violently at those who linger too long, as if yearning to drag someone else into her tortured existence behind the glass. And so, the mirror remains a living testament to relentless heartbreak. A barrier between two worlds, drenched in bitterness and longing. Our final artifact is the Hands Resist Him, a painting so notorious it sparked rumours of owners hearing guttural growls at night and seeing the figures move within the frame. Painted by Bill Stoneham in 1972, it depicts a doll-like girl with hollow eyes standing by a young boy behind a glass door pressed with countless disembodied hands. This image alone triggers a sense of claustrophobic dread. Its modern infamy soared when an eBay seller claimed the boy and doll left the painting at night, wandering their room. Their young daughter reportedly woke screaming, swearing the doll aimed a small weapon at her. Another caretaker wrote on a blog, "I walked past the painting at 2 a.m. and saw the doll's eyes blinking like she was acknowledging me." Potential buyers who merely downloaded its photo complained of migraines, insomnia, and disturbed children who sobbed uncontrollably after glimpsing it. Some visitors to a gallery where it briefly hung recounted blackouts, hearing faint whispers encouraging them to come closer to the canvas. The painting's background may hold the key to its sinister effect. Stoneham claimed it represented the threshold between wakefulness and a hidden dimension of lost souls. If that dimension seeps through each brushstroke, it may explain the painting's reputation for tormenting those who dare observe it too long. Many owners parted with it in tears or desperation, convinced that every hour spent near the Hands Resist Him chipped away at their sanity. In the hush of night, it said the doll's face contorts and the ghostly hands behind the door press harder, yearning to break through the fragile barrier. A simple wooden box containing a howling spirit, an elegant vase that lures owners to fatal ends, a mirror that might hold a grieving mother and children in eternal limbo, a painting rumoured to project its nightmares onto reality. These four cursed objects share a haunting truth. Sometimes evil or sorrow can latch onto the inanimate, turning everyday items into conduits of terror. Which of these artifacts unnerved you the most? If faced with a chance to own one, would curiosity conquer caution, or would you run the other way? Let us know in the comments. If your pulse is still racing, subscribe now. Next Saturday's episode reveals the most bizarre, unsolved heists that seemed impossible, from legendary art thefts to thieves who vanished into thin air. And always remember, even the simplest heirloom might harbour secrets. Thank you for watching. Sleep well if you dare.